Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday. Friday's a day of the week we turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in a map. And they've gone with this one. And a mighty fine choice it is too. Originally, I saw this one when it was first released back in May of last year. It was a very, very busy week, so we couldn't do it that week. Went on to the long list. We are finally at the top of the list. Now, this creator has no experience, meaning
it's my first map.
That's right. And they've done really well with it. In terms of popularity, at the very least, 3,500 subscribers. That's impressive. Very impressive indeed. I like popular things like cherries and apples and, oh, what's that big blue button called again? Ah, that's right, hitting the apple cherry button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for that support. Today's map is Temperate Lands by Bradley L 1994. That is an L, not an I, not a 1. Definitely an L lowercase. Let's have a look at the start square. Mostly taken up by the intersection itself, meaning you could build around the intersection, but I'd like to see a bit more build space in front of it, really. There's your terrain heights, terrain party map. I'm not sure where it's from, but it's a very nice map indeed. Lots of resource painting in the form of fields. More about that as we get into the map. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it looks like this. Mostly salmon and anchovies. Off to the workshop. What do we need? No DLC required today. In fact, no assets at all. A recommendation for the extra landscaping tools and the unlimited trees mod, along with the 81 tile mod recommended as well. We'll be using the vanilla European theme, the realistic 1.2 LUT. And, oh, blimey. Yes, I'm sure you heard that one. Sometimes I'm not sure if you can hear traffic going past my window. That one I'm pretty sure you did. Anyway, where were we? Yes, resources. We'll have a look at resource painting in the second half of the show. But what actually, before we get to the resources, I want to talk about trees. Okay, we got a few trees on the road here. Now, part of the blame for the trees on the road, well, all of the blame actually has to go to the creator, because you should never have trees underneath your networks, because at the very least they use up tree count. But usually, though, if you haven't got Anarchy active, then they'll just be hidden. And for some time, I didn't realise, but my Anarchy had unset. And so where normally trees showing through the roads would always show up on my shows, on my reviews. And I'd let that happen because they should be demolished by the creator. They should not be hiding underneath roads. But anyway, then Eggsy comes along, Monday's review, and says, hey BonBon, a lot of my detailing was missing, and I'm going to have to go back and load up some of their detailing to show you probably Monday of next week when I get a little bit of time to load their map up again. But yes, because the Anarchy wasn't switched on by default, which is what is normally the default for the show. I don't know how it unset, but there's definitely some weird things afoot with my game at the moment. In fact, I reinstalled it today just to be absolutely sure. I've been verifying the files for the longest time, but I reinstalled it from scratch to make sure that we haven't got any glitchiness actually with the game. But yes, I had all sorts of issues. Remember, you know those tunnel issues I had with like the Arcology project a little while ago, where the tunnels would disconnect from real life. Oh, hang on. Low bridge, but still high enough. That's perfectly fine. Oh, and our first intersection here. Little trumpet one. That's very nice as well, isn't it? That's all good. But yes, the tunnel issue, I thought I found the fix for it. I'll have to talk about this on another day, because I'm talking about this rather than talking about the map. But yes, I thought I found the fix, and the game was misleading me, which is what actually led me to actually reinstall the game from scratch. Another tree encroaching through the underside of that bridge there. A few trees in the water there. We'll talk about them in the second half of the show, and a few more trees underneath the bridge showing through there too. This is the start square intersection, the one that takes up virtually all of the start square. and it's glorious as cloverleaf intersections go. This is really very nice indeed. It's like I say, it's just a shame that it's not pointing into the intersection. A little bit of a dark line. It's probably normally a sign of blue mantle. Let me have a quick look. Oh no, there's a surprise. Okay, credit where it's due, there isn't any blue mantle. A little bit of stress on the road though. Anyway, over there is where you're going to start building, and we'll head down this way. I was going to talk about resources. That was it, resources. So yes, we've got a lot of field painting, and there will be people that love field painting, and there'll be people that absolutely hate it. It's actually covered in the description on the map about the field painting and the recommendation for extra landscaping tools, which enables you to repaint the resources. Now, normally, although that's something that a standard player could do if you're aware of the mod, and so I wouldn't normally allow that. But if it's actually covered in the description with a link to the recommended mod, it becomes active part of the gameplay of the map. Now, I'm still reluctant to say it's okay. Still reluctant to say it's okay. But yeah, I mean, it's telling you in the description to repaint the areas into the resources as you want them. If you don't like the actual the shape of the fields, etc. It's a tricky one for me to decide upon, that one. I'd like to see this pillar just rotated slightly so it's not quite onto the highway. It's not actually in the lane, so there is that going for it, but I'd like to see it just rotated a fraction there. So yes, we'll have a look at resource painting in the second half of the show. For those of you that have not seen it and not seen it in action, I will I'll do a bit of painting of one of the fields just so that you can see. But yes, so yeah, with the fields as they are at the moment, you'd have a field which is fertile, which is next to a field which is ore, which is next to a field which is oil, and so you're very restricted in the shapes. I've got loads of trees on the line down here. Again, this is something that shouldn't happen anyway. If you don't have anarchy on your system, then you will have no trees on your line, because the line will completely right over the trees. But the trees are there, just hidden underneath, and it's just good practice. There's the words for the day. Good practice to remove the trees as you lay down the lines, or just before you lay down the lines, then put the trees around the line afterwards. It takes a bit longer. It's a long, slow, drawn-out process, a bit like watching these shows. But yes, that's the recommendation. But yeah, we have an awful lot of trees on the lines. But even if you decide to say, look, okay, no, I'm okay with it, BonBon. You can't mark down the map in terms of detailing for trees under the roads, under the lines, because you know. Well, I'll show you more tree issues in terms of in the water in the second half of the show, which has got absolutely nothing to do with anarchy. So I think this is definitely just something that's I mean, slapdash isn't the right word. I do have a word for it, but yeah, I just more time needs to be invested. It's not slapdash, because actually the tree painting it's a good shape. We have some really nice shapes of the forests going on today's map. So it's slapdash isn't the word I was looking for. I'll take that one back completely. But it was done. More time needed to be spent. So there's the word I'm looking for. It was hurriedly done, instead of taking the time and clearing the forests and working along the line and making sure there's nothing underneath the lines. There's all of that can be done. Anyways, we're now heading off towards the edge of the map, which means it's going to be time for the intermission. We'll come back with the shipping. Do you think there'll be shipping on today's map? Place your bets now, please. And some cash. And so back to Temperate Lands by Bradley L. 1994. And we do have shipping routes at the widest part of the river at the bottom end. And they're interesting. Like, they are sort of like pretty slick. But we do have this one that comes back down the water here. So if you've got a harbour down here and a ship coming back up, it'll cross over there because it doesn't connect, but it does connect there. You'll then have to do a sharp turn to go back down the river. So it's good, but there's just the one possibility of a little bit of U-turn, U-boats? Yeah, that's what they're. U-boats, is that what we got? No. No, but U-turning a big old liners is going to be what happens there. Water flow, though, we got good water flow on the map. It's a very nice water flow map. Okay, so lots of fields. Aesthetically, the fields are very striking, I'll give it that. And also, did say, got some very nice shapes of the forests. And considering it's 100% vanilla, it's actually surprisingly really very nice indeed. Okay, resources. Let's go down to one of these fields. So you've got ore, you've got oil, and you've got fertile. All three different types there, and also just a generic base colour down there as well. Let me grab the ground resources button out of extra landscaping tools, and because we've got that mod active, it means we can just repaint the resources down there like that to whatever we want as a city builder. So yeah, that's in the description, so I suppose I've got to kind of allow it. I'm not sure why we've got these little patches of I don't think they add much down there. Also notice we don't have anything in the way of hedgerows around the fields. In a way, that's kind of good as well. We've got loads of drowned trees. You're going to see a load of drowned trees here. Nice shapes to the rivers. Just a lot of trees that are wearing their trunks. Boom, boom. But yes, because we don't actually have any hedgerows around the fields, it just means that if you do want to reappropriate them into a different resource color, then you can just work with it. It becomes a live thing. Yeah, loads of trees. So many trees. So I feel less bad about the trees under the highways now. Oh, we got a little bit of lumpy water in this river. This map has been running for quite some time. It did start off very lumpy, and it's finally, but slowly but surely, sorting itself out. But yeah, at the start of the map, it needed some time to actually level out. But yeah, even now, quite some time into it, we've got a lot going on with the bumpies down that one particular river. Marshlands, I'm quite liking the shape of these marshlands as well, with the old Oxbow Lake there as well, and just these little squelchy areas. A little drowned tree there in the middle as well. It's conspicuous by the fact that it's bright green. And but yes, but yeah, the shapes of the map are really good. The design of the map is really very nice. The field painting, if you don't mind field painting, looks really, really good. This is your start square down there. Let me just switch the terrain lines on. It's not as flat as you think it's gonna be. It's a little bit undulatory, realistically undulatory, and I'm okay with that. I think it works quite well. So a slightly challenging build as well, meaning you're gonna need assets for your challenging build, yeah? And this is probably one of the best ones, yeah, gotta be, because it's by SvenBerlin. And this is the BMW mini car dealership, ploppable RICO ready, with some extra props that they've put in as well along this front, which I've just plopped down haphazardly. I'm sure people do a better job of it than that when they're using the asset. But yes, a great asset from Sven. Always great assets from Sven. And factoids, because factoids. Half of the world's area of land water is in which country? Go on, I'll let you ponder on that one. Which country has half of the world's area of land water? And I know there are a few viewers from this country, so you'll probably be screaming out already. But yes, loving this building. Beautiful, good shape, good size, interesting shape as well. We've also got some internal, empty areas that you can grab some props off of the workshop, some BMW and mini props off of the workshop, stick them along inside here, just to add extra detail. I haven't done so because that would just take me even more time, and I had to give more credits, and I haven't got every minute of the day devoted to this. But yeah, nice little area in here. There's actually another area on the other side of the building as well that you can flesh out to. Anyway, that's the BMW mini car dealership ploppable RICO ready by SvenBerlin. Today's beautiful, beautiful asset of the day. And so back to a pullback from Temperate Lands by Bradley L 1994. So, tricky one to rate this one, but you have got to make a decision. And I'm going to insist that you go and vote on this today, okay? None of this, somebody else will do it. No, you are going to do it. head on over, click the I button in the top right corner of your screen now, and let me know, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. But what do I think? Well, aesthetically, I like this. I think it's a really nice design. It is actually really very... considering it's 100% vanilla, I think this works really well. Field painting or no field painting, I still think this is going to be... I can't quite get it into 4 stars, but it's a very high 3. But a high 3 that I like. So there you go. Detailing. Yes, we've got a lot of trees under the highways and a lot of drowned ones as well. But other than that, it's good and strong. So I've got to go 2, but I'm going to go with the top end of 2 because the standards are there. Just quite a few things to delete. Gameplay potential. I think this is a very playable map, and 3,500 other people think so too. So yes, I would agree with them. I'm not inspired, and I think there is, like I say, a little bit of fixing to do as we go along. But it's a 4-star map. I'm going to go for the lower-ish end, but just roundabouts middle-low of 4. Temperate Lands by Bradley L. 1994. That, for a first map, is a success. Just a newbie era of trees under the roads and cleaning up the rivers. Won't take very long. A little bit of lumpy water in one of the rivers as well, but it's a secondary river and you probably won't even notice. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day into the comments. Score yourself 100 population points just for fun. And we'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Now, where's my tea?